With the NBA offseason coming up, it'll be all talks about salary cap, this, player movement, that. But what does the NBA salary cap actually mean, and how does it really affect players and possibly your favorite team making it to the finals next year? Well, we're going to be talking all about that and more. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's your thumb, and let's go ahead and get into it. The NBA salary cap is the allotted amount of money that a team has to spend on players' contracts that they currently have and or waive. But the percentage of money that players receive in contracts from teams is decided upon in the collective bargaining agreement. And I did an entire video talking about the NBA collective bargaining agreement, and you can check it out right here, or I'll link it down in the description. The NBA salary cap changes every single year. And for the 2021-2022 season, the salary cap was set at $112.4 million. You probably heard of a lot of conversations about hard cap versus soft cap. And in the NBA, they have a soft cap. This means that teams can go over their allotted amount of money for salary cap, but they do have to pay a certain tax towards the league for that money that they go over. And this is called luxury tax. And for the 2021-2022 season, that luxury tax was set at $136.66 million. And that means that once they reach that mark and or higher, then they would have to start paying a tax to the league for that money. And there are 4 markers for the luxury salary tax in the NBA. And the first is that a team must pay $1.50 for each additional dollar spent up to $4.9 million over that limit. The next is they would pay $1.75 for each additional dollar spent up to $9.9 million over the limit. Third is $2.50 for each additional dollar spent up to $14.9 million over the limit. And last is $3.25 for each additional dollar spent up to $9.9 million over the limit. So as you can see, it is kind of expensive if you get into that luxury tax bracket. So that is why teams are very conscious about the players and the contracts that they sign. But one thing that separates the NBA from other leagues like the NFL, for example, is that they have holds on their salary cap. These holds are placed for free agents and first round picks, as you can check out the 2 videos I did on NBA free agency and rookie contracts right here, as well as I'll link them down in the description below. But these places are held on these 2 spots, as for especially first round picks, they are guaranteed a certain amount of money and they have to set aside that money for those picks in the upcoming drafts. And those salary caps are, for a qualifying veteran free agent, that is 150% of their prior salary. An early qualifying vet is 130% of the prior salary. Non-qualifying veteran is 120%. Two-way players finishing their two-way contract is the number equal to with a 2-year minimum. And finally, the hold for first rounders is 120% of the rookie pay scale. The NBA does put in stipulations for team to create room and or hold off on paying people's contracts, as there are a lot of expenses owning an NBA team. And one way that they can hold off on playing people are called stretch provisions. And this really affects players who are waived from a team and they still have time on their current contracts. A team can choose to stretch out the length of their payments that they still owe them, and this allows them to stay within the salary cap for the league. Now, you cannot stretch future contracts if it will exceed 15% of the upcoming season's salary cap. And this is put in place so teams do not have an easy way out of quote-unquote bad deals that they sign, and players are not stiff-armed in this process. Well, now that you know so much about NBA salary cap, make sure to check out these 3 videos right here that I mentioned earlier, as they will definitely help you along this NBA offseason. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every time I post a new video, which are Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And leave me a comment down below telling me what players you think are going to sign some big deals this NBA offseason. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's still your thumb. And remember, don't be afraid to join the convo.